Hello, this is William with CommanderCast.com, here doing the wrap-up video for the Alpha Edition build of Avacyn Guardian Angel, and we just got done with what was actually a very good game, I feel, considering how inconsistent and irrelevant this deck has been for pretty much every other game. We actually had the Howling Mine definitely helped things, keeping the cards flowing, and we actually got to see it combined with the Island Sanctuary, which I don't want to say it was irrelevant because at that time they had the Blade of Cells, which gets around the Island Sanctuary. So that's unfortunate. But it definitely made sure that the Arsenal was pointed away from us. And I definitely like that combo. Everyone else likes that they're drawing two cards. I get like not being attacked. So we'll see where this ends up going. Disappointed that we didn't get to see Force Field that game, but that's one of the great things about powerful cards is that they're likely to stay into the deck, and we're going to have more chances to see Force Field. We even got to see the Hoff sacrifice his... Is that... Yeah, that guy has an eye patch. That actually is just David Hasselhoff playing Colonel Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wow. So we did get to see the Hoff, just absorb a crazy amount of damage. Would have loved to have had Avacyn out to help back him up, but again, the Predator flagship just completely wrecks Avacyn's day. Even got to see some of our more obscure creatures like Personal Incarnation, Obsidious Golem, Clockwork Beast, all in the same game actually. Not that these two really got to do anything late because of the Meekstone. Which, speaking of which, actually ended up being relevant for locking down the slime cells. So we could still go with a, I don't want to say a Defender's route since that's actually a game mechanic, but a Stalwart type flavored build where we go ahead and we go with attackers that also protect on vigilance. So kind of a tempo control, not control, more of a tempo build that's also good on defense. White wants to be a very defensive color, so I could very easily see that coming. Was pleasantly surprised not to see the dead cards like Cormus Bell or Karma, except in that second game. You guys might notice that that game number 1 is missing, and that's probably going to be Patreon only until I can learn how to edit some of that out. The game number 1, quote unquote, ended up being a one-on-one game plus a multiplayer game later, so I'll edit that out, and for now it'll be a Patreon exclusive. I think what I might do is I might end up playing like a bonus episode each week and keeping that exclusively to Patreon. I might choose a choice game. Not a game that was super way exciting because I want to make sure those see the YouTube channel. But also a game that isn't just completely dull like the one against the Marin Stacks deck where 2 of the players just up and left. Which, I'm not really that broken up by it. Like, it's a Stacks deck. If I was playing a deck that had just more creatures or more enchantment removal, just more ways to deal with it, it wouldn't have been a problem. It's just a very strong deck that ended up playing against me, unfortunately. Other thoughts so far, we do need to cut down on the lands we have to make sure we don't have as many dead draws. But honestly, the lands aren't necessarily the first thing that I want to cut. The first thing I want to cut is going to be stuff like the Cormus Bell or the Circle Protections. I really just don't like having those cards in here. They did some amount of work, but it's such a roulette, depending on the matchups you have, where sometimes they're going to be really good, and other times they're just going to be complete poop. The combat tricks were half and half. Like, I could see keeping Righteousness in for a couple of sets. Would like to remove it for actual removal at some point. Healing Salve, surprisingly, I found myself having situations where I did want Healing Salve, mostly against, like, the Warstorm Surge type stuff. It'll be interesting to see how that comes. Blaze of Glory, I didn't actually get a chance to use it, but it does some interesting things. So I'm going to look forward to seeing that in the next couple of sets while we just get more cards to make this an actual deck. Other stuff, so stuff that we're looking at to just cut immediately. Like I said, Circle Protections, maybe cut a few lands. You definitely would want to cut out, the Hive. The Hive is just 10 mana for a 1/1 is so bad. Like, the Northern Paladin is a hate card, but at least he's a body. And that's kind of what we need right now. We need bodies. The conversion, wow, that actually would have just completely hosed Ashland the Pilgrim, and that would have made me very happy. I'd be a horrible person, but that would have made me very happy. Next time a sorcery of your choice will deal damage to you this turn. Prevent that damage, you gain life. Ooh, if I had that when I had the mana barbs. I could have also done with Circle Protection Red. That actually would have been not bad. So I can see corner cases where I want some of these cards. But, you know, stuff like Copper Tablet, the Hive, even Jam Day Tome are just... It's not stuff that I want to have because they're just so inefficient or so costly. And it's going to be one of the ways that we can upgrade this deck. Still, though, I did have a lot of fun with that last game. I ended up winning only because my opponent timed out. I had to use my disenchant on the other enchantment, not the Sphinx's Tutelage. I wonder if I had thought about it, could I have used the disenchant on the Sphinx's Tutelage? It kept some stuff out. Yeah, I probably should have just actually lost that game last time because, you know, he's got his Sphinx out. He's already named Death Ward. I could draw into like a Wrath of God, but other than that, you know, other than maybe getting a Blessing would have helped out. I can't think of a lot of outs I would have had in that matchup. So, really lucky that he just timed himself out. He probably deserved that win because Sphinx Travel is actually just better than Alpha Avacyn. Overall, very happy with the start of it now that I've had a good game under my belt, which I expect to have more good games as we build more interactivity into this deck. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to go ahead and support what I'm doing here, you want to support CommanderCast in general, you want to support all the shows and stuff that we're working hard to put out for you, go ahead, head over to Patreon. That's Patreon.com/CommanderCast Network. And you can become a monthly donator. If you're donating at least $5 a month, you will get to see these videos ahead of everybody else. And I'll definitely be putting the exclusive videos at a tier higher than that. Definitely got to find something to reward the guys who think that the show, the network, you know, everyone at CommanderCast is worth at least $10 a month. You know, that is just fantastic. That is phenomenal. And those guys are just amazing for stepping above and beyond what we're asking for. Because what we're really only asking for is the tip. And just the tip. But if a little more slips in, we're really not going to complain. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. I am at BlueRam1409 on the Twitters. You can also follow CommanderCast on Twitter. We are at CommanderCast. You can also check us out on our Facebook page. Go ahead and message me. You can leave me comments in the under the video or under show notes or anything like that. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes with the MTG Cast program. And until next time, guys, let's get it!